Welcome everybody to Charlotte Motor Speedway as we're here today for the running of the Winston All-Star Race here. As the air's electric tonight here, and as today we'll see who is the best of the best in the Castrol GTX Cup Series, I guess you might say. But before we get to all that, though, we have the traditional running of the Winston Open. That's the cars that are not yet qualified for the Winston for this season. So it'll be a 20-lap heat to decide who will be the drivers in the Winston All-Star Open. I guess in the Winston All-Star event, I guess you might say here. Let's just say it's a race. It's a race to race into the Winston All-Star race. Let's put it that way. Anyway, sorry I can't talk. But anyway, 20 laps will decide who the last 5 drivers will be in the Winston All-Star race here, and because as the last 5 drivers I say is of course the top 5 finishers, excuse me, in this event will transfer into the All-Star race. So, with that said, 25 drivers will fight that out amongst themselves, as 12 drivers are already qualified in, so it'll be a 17-car field for the All-Star race itself. So let's cut the prelude out and get the starting lineup for this event. On the pole at 186 miles an hour, it is Jay Jefferson, number 5, the Tide Chevrolet, besides Preston Plord, number 18, Interstate Batteries Chevrolet. Second row, Paul Minnick in number 90, the Holligmeyer Stores Ford, and number 25, it is Jonathan Zorlin in the Kodiak Chevrolet. Third row, Jesse Turner, who got so close to punching his ticket into the All-Star race at California Speedway, but came 1 position shy of doing so. So he's in number 71, and he'll be alongside 26 Quaker State Ford of Sky Commons. Next row down, we'll have Dylan Young in number 2, the Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac, and Becca Tullier in the Valvoline Ford, car number 6. Next row down, Kat Batson in the number 16 Keystone Beer Ford, and beside her will be Zachary Fitzwater, number 52, the Napa Auto Parts Ford. Next row down, Rob Evans in number 12, the Meineke Mufflers Ford, and number 98, the Bojangles Ford of Seth Cole. Next row down has Diego Yepes in the Skull Bandit in the Skull Classic Ford, and number 9, Simon Bloomfield in the Orkin Pest Control Ford, who came so close to winning the Daytona 500 this season, but finished the race in I think second spot. Ryan Brommer, number 33, the Skull Bandit Chevrolet, has the inside of the next row down, and number 75, James Henry, has alongside in the Factory Source America Ford. Next row down has Mitchell Collins, number 40, in the Dirt Devil Vacuum Cleaners Pontiac, and T.J. Dent in the pink number 68 for Country Time Ford. Next row down is Zach Winkle, number 17, the Western Auto Chevrolet, and Ty Dent, number 30, the Pennzoil Pontiac. Next row down has Jose Mills, number 31, the Goodrich Mom and Pops Chevrolet, and number 55, the Jasper Engines Ford, and Nathan Ormond. Next row down has Nicholas Wade, number 14, the Kellogg's Cornflakes Chevrolet, and number 27, Riley Spurley, tube in the McDonald's Ford. And starting shotgun in the field will be Vince Almarego, and number 83, the Purex Detergent Ford. So that's going to be the so that's how the starting lineup is for today's event here at Charlotte. Here we have some big name drivers, and they hope to, of course, to get into the All-Star race itself. Drivers like Preston Plord, Dylan Young, Kat Batson, Becca Tellier, Zachary Fitzwater, Sky Cummins, there's Seth Cole. Those drivers hoping to make the punch their ticket in the All-Star race by finishing top 5 in this event. So we'll see if whether or not they'll do so at the end of the 20 laps. And here comes the command to fire the engines for the Winston Open.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
That's ladies and gentlemen, start your engines, by the way. Now, Charlotte is the only event we'll be doing. Of course, we'll be doing Cup physics on the Cup 90 mod. So the rest of the races will be CTS physics, of course. So we'll be doing the Cup physics for this race, for the Winston, for the All-Star Weekend, the 600, and the Melly Yellow 500 for All-Star Weekend, the Coco 600, and the Melly Yellow 500 as well. So that's how we're going to do it. So Jay Jefferson, number 5 Tide Chevrolet, is on the pole for the Winston Open. As we'll see what happens here, as they make their way through the third and fourth turns now. The 12 drivers in the Winston All-Star race await the last 5, and that's how it's going to be. 20 laps for this race, and of course the Winston itself will be 2 20-lap segments. Is what it's all going to be. As the field comes off the fourth turn, the green flag is about to wave. The Winston Open is underway at Charlotte. Paul Minnick leads the first lap of the race here. Dylan Young is in the second position. In number 2, as they come off the second turn here, Becca Tellier, or I should say, Kat Batson in 16th, right there behind in third, and is behind Dylan Young along with Sky Commons and Becca Tellier in the 6th as they come off the fourth turn. In those first few rows, it's like a 180-mile-an-hour pace lap happening here at Charlotte as Dylan Young leads the second lap. As they go into turn number 1 again, they qualified here for the pole at 186 miles an hour, and they should be faster than that in the draft. Front bumper cam from Becca Tellier's car, they're running very close to the Quaker State car of Sky Commons. Now from inside Becca's car, and from Sky Commons this view, he has our second in-car camera in today's event. That's for the Open itself, I should say. Tellier takes lead in a moment as Sky Commons led the last time by in the third turn. Diego Yepes, number 1, goes for the lead now. Number 1, the Skull Classic Ford. In fact, 2 of the Skull cars are first and second now. He has Yepes in the 1 and Brommer in 33. Chevy in second position, Ford in first, of course, and Simon Bloomfield, number 9, looks for the top spot now as they come off the second turn. 5 laps into the event, 15 laps to go in the Winston Open. Fast lap race so far, 186.2 miles per hour, set by Zachary Fitzwater. So they're not quite as fast as the pole speed, of course. Pole speed, of course, of this event, 186.8 miles per hour, almost 187. Simon Bloomfield looks for the lead now, as here comes Mitchell Collins and Zach Winkle. In his pack of cars right there, Rob Evans in the 12. The 98 is Seth Cole. Fitzwater's in there, Jesse Turner, Preston Blord, and it's got to be And of course, you know Preston would like to make his way into the All-Star race himself because he won 5 times last. He won 4 times last. It was either 4 or 5 times last season. I can't remember which, but. But Plourd's having a good season so far. He sits right now coming into he comes into the 600 weekend at Charlotte, 3rd place in the standings. Down the backstretch they come here. TJ Dent looks low on Plourd and takes position away. This pack here side by side, just like you see it just like we saw last race on the tour at California Speedway, Auto Club Speedway that is. Back up front, here comes number 52, Zachary Fitzwater to the inside of Rob Evans for the lead, and he's got Jesse Turner behind him, Dylan Young, and Paul Minnick in this mix as well. 11 in the books, or 10 laps in the books, 10 laps to go here in the Winston Open. Jesse Turner out in front, number 71. The Dave Marcus car it's been a good ride so far for Turner at the moment. Second place finish was at California at Auto Club Speedway, the last race on the tour. Just missed winning it by over to Mike Becker, who got the last race winning spot in the All-Star event. Minnick out in front now. Here comes Cat Batson, number 16. Diego Yepes in the 1, and the 98 Seth Cole. All trying to fight for that top 5 spot now, with now 8 laps to go. Riley Spurley, too. You see him in the 27 car here. Back in the pack there in the McDonald's Ford. Vince Almarego's there. There's 31. Jose Mills. Those 3 bringing up the rears. And Sky Commons, who led a few laps ago, he's now up. He's now in the back as well in the Quaker State machine. There he is. That car has been strong all season long so far. Commons, I think, comes into this race, I think, in the top 10 of the points. He comes into the 600 at least, top 10 of the points. That's the next point. We keep saying the 600 because of the points, because it is a points-paying event, whereas the All-Star Weekend is not. Commons does have 6 laps to try to catch up to the front of the field if he hopes to be one of the top 5. Zorlin, he's on the inside lane as well. There's Plourd and Tellier on the high side, trying to make their way back in. There's 5 laps to go in this race. '55, Nathan Orman, the Jasper Engines Ford, looking pretty strong here in this late going of this race, as he see him moving to the inside of Dylan Young. 4 laps to go. Nicholas Wade right behind in 14 car. 40 of Mitchell Collins. That's also in this mix. The top 3 is pulled away. That's Paul Minnick, Seth Cole, and TJ Dent in number 68. And there's the number 1, Diego Yepes, moving ahead as well as they come off the 4th turn now. 3 laps to go. Seth Cole for the lead. And he's got it. Yepes to second position, or tries for second place now. A pair of black Fords up in the top 2 spots now. Here comes Yepes for the lead, number 1. No dice. 2 laps to go. Right now, that 5th spot is being held currently by, last time by, it was Mitchell Collins who had that 5th spot. White flag will be waving this time by here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Seth Cole out in front, Diego Yepes. Those two appear to be in good shape to make it the transfer to the All-Star race. Last lap. TJ Dent and Paul Minnick battling for 3rd position. Those 3 and 4 does transfer your way in. Off the 4th turn they come here. Battle for 5th between Mitchell Collins and Cat Betts. Let's see who gets the 5th spot here. Seth Cole for the win. Diego Yepes 2nd, 3rd to Paul Minnick. 4th position to Mitchell. 4th position to TJ Dent, and 5th and final transfer spot will go to Mitchell Collins. So that's your top 5 finishers in the Winston Open at Charlotte. As the rookies again, they spoil the veterans' days. So the rookies again spoil the veterans here at Charlotte, as 3 of them, well, actually 2 of them are rookies. Actually, one is a name you normally wouldn't see in an All-Star race in Diego Yepes, but a good day for him, obviously in the Open. But Seth Cole takes the win in the Winston Open. He'll pretty much will be the only. He and Paul Minnick are pretty much 2 of the only veterans in that transfer their way in. Rest of the finishers, Cat Batson just missed out in 6th position. 7th will go to Nicholas Wade. 8th to Dylan Young. 9th, Nathan Orman. And 10th to Jay Jefferson. Then goes then Jesse Turner, Zach Winkle, Zachary Fitzwater was 13th. 14th will go to Jonathan Sorland. Then Ty Dent, Rob Evans, James Henry, Sky Commons, Simon Bloomfield, and Becca Tellier was the top 20. Then the rest of the finishing order: Ryan Brommer, Preston Plord, Jose Mills, Vince Almorego, and Raleigh Spurley too. That was the last finishers in the Winston Open. So Seth Cole takes the win in the Winston Open, averaging 183.733 miles per hour. Diego Yepes will finish 2nd, as we said. Then Diego Yepes will be 2nd, then Paul Minnick, TJ Dent, and Mitchell Collins. Again, that's your transfers into the Winston All-Star race here. And that will be coming up after this here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway, and this is it. The Winston All-Star Race is about to commence here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, as we are set for the running of this event. 2 20-lap segments will be the order of the day at Charlotte Motor Speedway to decide the Winston All-Star Race for season 21. So without all further ado, let's get to the starting lineup for the event. On the pole, he was the winner of the season at Charlotte, and he was the winner of the season at Atlanta and Martinsville. That's how he got into the All-Star race himself. The number 3, GM Government Chevrolet of Cole Deaver is on the pole for today's event. Alongside of him, number 20 at Texaco Haviland Ford. He got into this race by winning the race at Sonoma, California. It is Keith Batson sitting alongside. All right. Second row, he got into this race by winning the season at Richmond and again at Bristol this season, the defending series, and he's also the defending series champion. It's Kyle Matthews, car 42, the mellow yellow Pontiac, is on the inside. Alongside of him, the STP Pontiac, car number 44. He got into this race with a last-minute victory at Auto Club Speedway in California. It is Mike Becker. Third row, he's in this race by being a 3-time series champion in seasons 2, 16, and 19. It is Joshua Osborne, car number 15, the Motorcraft Ford. He'll be flanked by car number 21, the Sitco Ford, who won the season at North Wilkesboro. That's how he's in the All-Star race. It's Quentin Moore. Next row down has car number 24, the DuPont Chevrolet. He's in this race by being the season 15 champion in this race, but he also won the season at Talladega. It's Charles Sanford. He'll be alongside car number 8, that Ray Bessis breaks Ford. He's a Daytona 500 champion this season. It is Eli Bright. Next row down has car number 4, the Kodak Film Chevrolet. He won the season at Rockingham. That's how he's in the All-Star race. It is William Brock, and beside him, he's in this race by being the season 8 champion of the Castrol GTX Cup Series. It's Johnny Gardner in the Hooters Ford car number 7. Next row down, he's the season 1 champion of the series, the first ever Castrol GTX Cup Series champion out of the state of Kentucky, the Maxwell House Ford car number 22. It's Dylan Poteet. He'll be alongside number 1, the Skull Classic Ford. He finished second in the Winston Open. That's how he's in the All-Star race himself. It's Diego Yepes in his first ever All-Star start. New paint scheme on that number 11 car is she's the 4-time series champion. She's won the season at Darlington in Texas. She's Jessica Shelton in the Bud Light Ford car number 11. And it's a one-time paint scheme, by the way, for her this season as well, by request. I usually don't do customs, but anyway. She is alongside the man who finished third in the Winston Open. That's how he's in the All-Star race. He's Paul Minnick in number 90, the Hollymeyer Furniture Ford. Next row down has car number 98, the Bojangles Ford. He won the Winston Open. That's how he's in the All-Star race. It's the leader of the NNSCRA, Seth Cole. He'll be alongside number 40, the Dirt Devil Vacuum Cleaners Pontiac. He got the 5th and final transfer spot in the All-Star Open. It's Mitchell Collins in his first ever All-Star start, and likewise making his first ever All-Star start. Car number 68, the Country Time Stovetop Stuffing Ford, the special paint scheme. He finished 4th in the All-Star Open. That's how he's in the race. It's TJ Dent in the inside. So you got a mix of all-stars and a couple of rookies sprinkled into this whole thing too. Now this race is 2 20-lap segments here. They'll run one 20-lap segment there, and they'll run one 20-lap segment, and then of course line them up for the second segment. The second segment will decide the whole thing at Charlotte. So let's see what happens here today. 17 cars lined up for this very event here. And we're about to get the command to fire the engines. In fact, we're getting ready to do so right now here for one hot night at Charlotte.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
And apparently some all-star jitters for TJ Dent. He had trouble getting his. Was all over the place off pit road, trying to get off of pit road. So but these cars lined up in beautiful precision right now. But they'll be approaching 180 miles an hour when they go into next time they go down this part of the racetrack. In-car cameras today being carried by Jessica Shelton, Charles Sanford, and Kyle Matthews. Those three will be carrying our in-car cameras in today's event. And in fact, some problems there with TJ Dent's car possibly come up as he's coming slowly on the apron of the racetrack here. But anyway, pace car is off corner number 4 here. Cole Deaver will lead him down here at Charlotte as the field rolls to the green flag, and buggity, buggity, buggity! Let's go racing, boys and girls. And it was a valve problem on the 68 car of TJ Dent that prevented him from starting this Winston All-Star race. But here we come. Off the 4 turn, 16 cars. Strong. Kyle Matthews leads the first lap here in the Winston All-Star race here. Osborne in second position now. As they both get by Cole Deaver, Osborne looks inside for the number 1 spot, but Matthews up the high side of the racetrack here. Charles Sanford trying for 3rd position now as they go through the 3rd and 4th turns here. Matthews has an All-Star win in his own right here. He won the All-Stars I think in season 16, I believe. But he has won this race before. Josh Osborne, on the other hand, has yet to look for an All-Star win, as has also William Brock and Jessica Shelton. Those two have yet to win an All-Star race themselves as well. They hope this season is the season they do so. Brock off the 4th turn here. Here comes number 22, Dylan Poteet, side by side. William Brock leads this lap here at Charlotte. Jessica Shelton in that one-time paint scheme, the Bud Light Ford, is painted a lot like Bill Elliott's 1992 to 94 colors, though, except it was her idea, by the way, to do kind of a Elliott 90s Budweiser scheme and kind of do Bud Light colors with it. And of course, there may be also some Budweiser colors that'll be transferred to Bud Light sometime. I don't know, but anyway. Off the 2nd turn they come here. Seth Cole takes the lead here in number 98, the Bojangles Ford. He won the Winston Open, and he hopes to do so. He hopes to back that all up with a Winston All-Star victory himself. Paul Minnick, the 2nd position. Here comes Johnny Gardner for 3rd spot. Number 7 for 2nd position, I should say. Eli Bright, the Daytona 500 champion. Right behind Quentin Moore, and the winner at North Wilkesboro is in this mix as well. Off the 4th turn, Johnny Gardner. Out in front, car number 8, that is Eli Bright, 2nd position here as they come across the start finish line to complete the 6th lap of this race. Average speed there, fast lap of the race so far set by Johnny Gardner, almost 190 miles per hour, 189.94. In fact, the top 10 laps are over 189 miles per hour here at Charlotte. Quentin Moore out in front. Here comes number 44. That's Mike Becker. Becker out in front. Keith Batson, the outside pole sitter, number 28. Looking for the lead as they come off the 4th turn. He's got Cole Deaver right behind him. There's on board, Charles Sanford's car, number 24. Joshua Osborne up ahead of him. Into the 3rd turn they come here. Osborne trying to make a move on Deaver. He moves him up the track here as they go to the 3rd turn there. Off the 4th turn, Sanford, as we said, running in 4th position. And there's the car right there behind him, Kyle Matthews, number 42, the mellow yellow Pontiac. Off the 4th turn, and whoa, Osborne got moved up the track by Sanford. They come off the 4th turn here. Osborne led the lap. 10 down, 10 to go in the Winston Open. The Winston All-Star, excuse me. This is the All-Star, it's not the Open, by the way. Mitchell Collins off pace there, number 40 car, the Dirt Devil Pontiac. Apparently something the matter with that machine. And same with the Diego Yepez's car. Number 1, he's lost the draft completely. They hope to get it all fixed, though, for segment 2, possibly, coming up. But anyway, it's William Brock now chasing Kyle Matthews off the 4th turn. And here comes Brock to the inside of Matthews for the lead. William Brock out in front, Poteet second. Here comes... And oh, here we go. They're going to go 3 wide through the 3rd and 4th turns now here. Matthews up the track. Brock clears Matthews as they come off the 4th turn, so prevented it from going 3 wide. Poteet takes the lead with Minnick and Shelton right behind. Inside Jessica Shelton's car, the Bud Light Ford. Shelton says she wants several races. She wants to win on her bucket list, and also is one of them, along also with the Brickyard 400, and the 600, and the Daytona 500. And of course, she also wants one of the Talladega races as well on her bucket list as well. She did say the fall Talladega race there, but the second Talladega race this season will be the race before the Brickyard 400, by the way. Eli Bright looking inside of Johnny Gardner as we now have 5 to go in segment number 1. Quentin Moore right there behind second position. Here comes Mike Becker, Johnny, and Keith Batson in this mix as well. Quentin Moore now in the fastest lap of the race, and the only car over 190 miles per hour, and an only car recording 190 mile an hour lap at a 190.128. But it is Quentin Moore out in front of former Daytona 500 winner. He did it in season 20. And his win this season came in the first Union 400 at North Wilkesboro, so he all but dominated that event. And here comes the man who dominated Sonoma. That's Keith Batson, the Texaco Haviland Ford. Second position is now where he's at the moment. Here comes Osborne with the help of Cole Deaver in the number 3 GM Gilbert Chevy. A couple of guys from the South. Osborne for Kentucky, Deaver from the state of Georgia. Into the turn number 1 now with 2 laps to go. Osborne out in front. They caught Mitchell Collins, the lap car. And Osborne's being held up. Here comes Deaver for the lead. Off the 4th turn to come, there'll be the white flag for segment number 1. Cole Deaver out in front. Here comes William Brock to the inside. He moves outside now. Here comes number 90. That's Paul Minnick. And Seth Cole right behind in 3rd position there. Osborne still stuck behind Mitchell Collins. And he'll be the only car a lap down, though, after this race. But off the 4th turn to come, Minnick looks inside of Deaver as they come off the 4th turn. And the start-finish line, Cole Deaver wins the first segment completes the first segment in the lead in the Winston All-Star race. And so we will be back for segment number 2 here. 2, Cole Deaver leads the race. Second position is Paul Minnick. 3rd, Seth Cole. 4th is Eli Bright. 5th, Kyle Matthews. Jessica Shelton is 6th. 7th position is William Brock. Then it's Dylan Poteet. Then Mike Becker and Johnny Gardner. We'll be right back after this. Back at Charlotte Motor Speedway, where we're about to get set for segment number 2 in the Winston Open, or Winston All-Star race, in the Winston All-Star race here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. This will decide who will win the Winston for season 21 here. Cole Deaver leads the race here. Second position is Paul Minnick. Third right now is Seth Cole. Then it's Eli Bright, Kyle Matthews, the top five. Then it's Jessica Shelton in sixth position. Seventh is William Brock. Eighth is Dylan Poteet. Ninth right now is Mike Becker. And 10th is Johnny Gardner. That's how they run at the moment. Their green flag is already out for season has been out for season 20. For season 21, Winston All-Star Race Segment 2. Cole Deaver's out in front. Here comes Seth Cole for second place now as they come off the fourth turn. Deaver trying to keep that black number 3 out in front as they come off the second turn here. Kyle Matthews looking for the lead. On board, Kyle Matthews' car number 42, as he takes it to the number 1 spot here. Second position is now William Brock. Rear bumper cam from Matthews' car, looking right at that black number 3 of Cole Deaver. Rush hour traffic at over 190 miles per hour at Charlotte. Mike Becker to the lead. Here comes Keith Batson to the inside. Joshua Osborne, who nearly won the first segment, was in position to try to do so, but lap car held him up, and that's what cost him. And he dropped back to, I think, down about 13th position. And here comes Osborne for the lead in car number 15. Quentin Moore right behind him. Charles Samper right behind him. Dylan Poteet and Eli Bright in this mix as well. Through turns 3 and 4 they come here. Joshua Osborne deploys first. Second is Quentin Moore. Third is Charles Samford and Dylan Poteet and Eli Bright, the top 5 as it goes to the third as they come up into turn number 1. Quentin Moore jumps to the front. And 3 cars already turning laps over 190 miles per hour, led by Seth Cole at 190.309. Meantime, looking through the field of cars here, Johnny Gardner being held up by Diego Yepes and Mitchell Collins. They go through the first and second turns now, as Gardner trying to help those two up to the draft. Off the fourth turn they come. Johnny Gardner trying to pick his way through the field here. 7 laps already in the books, and 13 laps to go in the Winston All-Star Race. Paul Minnick and Seth Cole, 2 of the transfers from the Winston Open, now have the front 2 spots here. Minnick out in front as they come out the fourth turn here. Mike Becker, the winner of the season at Auto Club, up to second position now. Here comes Cole Deaver with the help of Jessica Shelton in the 11 car. That's again the 11 car, a one-off paint scheme here for this season. On board, Jessica Shelton's car, right behind Cole Deaver. Off to number 4, 183 miles an hour off the fourth turn here. See how fast she goes in the draft. 189, 188 miles an hour, 189, 190, 191 miles an hour to turn number 1. Into the third turn here. Kyle Matthews looks low on the racetrack. Ten down and 10 to go here in Winston. Kyle Matthews looking low here. William Brock is in this mix. Johnny Gardner, he's up in the top 5 now in the Hooters colors. Pontiac in first, Chevy second, Ford in third, Ford's 3 and 4, and then Chevy in 5th. William Brock now jumps to the front here. Here comes Gardner and Batson leading the low side of the track. And meantime, Mitchell Collins, whatever adjustments they made on that number 40 car, seems to be working because he is moving his way through the field. Remember, he was a lap down at the end of segment number 1, got the lucky dog. The only time you'll see the lucky dog even used in this series, by the way, because it is possible to use the same save game editor, but but anyway, but Mitchell Collins is making his way through the field right there, and now in contention to possibly pull off an upset out of these drivers here. Charles Sanford trying to push him in the 24 car. Keith Batson led the last time by here. Charles Sanford running right behind Mitchell Collins in the Dirt Devil colors. Back out of corner number 4 here. Now down for 6 laps to go. Dylan Poteet looking for the lead. Has the lead at the moment. Here comes Quentin Moore. Mike Becker's in 3rd position. Here comes Mitchell Collins up for 4th now in the 40 cars. He goes inside of Joshua Osborne. And Collins, another one of those cars, over 190 miles an hour on lap speeds here. Shelton holds the fastest lap of the race at 190.6 miles per hour. Five laps to go. Quentin Moore out in front. Here comes number 44, Mike Becker. Collins looking for the 3rd spot, and he's got it. Mike Becker jumps out in front. Here comes Mitchell Collins for the leads. Charles Sanford has pushed him all the way up to the front now. Now it's going to happen. You got several hungry drivers up there in the top spots here. This looks like a 190 mile an hour pace lap happening here. Mitchell Collins trying for the lead here, has not yet got it now. 2 laps to go, or 3 laps to go, excuse me. What's Charles Sanford going to do? Off turn number 2. Becker still hasn't quite given up in that number 44 car. He has not yet given up. Here comes Collins to the inside again off turn number 4. Sanford trying to look low. Nothing doing. 2 to go. What's going to happen on the backstretch here? Charles Sanford looking low again. Mitchell Collins does not seem to have the power, and he is holding those guys up behind him. Eli Bright's in this mix here, as is Seth Cullen, Jessica Shelton. White flag is out on the Winston. Mike Becker, car 44 out in front. What's Mitchell Collins going to do in that number 40 car? He's still trying to pull his way up to the front. Becker, the outside lane, working to his advantage. He's going through the 3rd and 4th turns now. He throws the block on Mitchell Collins. Off the 4th turn they come. And the Winston All-Stars for season 21 goes to Mike Becker. He does it here at Charlotte. Mike Becker, car number 44, the STP Pontiac, who takes it all today in the Winston All-Star race. Second will go to Mitchell Collins. Third will be Quentin Moore. Fourth to Charles Sanford. Fifth place will go to Dylan Poteet. Sixth to Eli Bright. Seventh will go to Joshua Osborne. Eighth to Seth Cole. Ninth, Jessica Shelton. And Keith Batson will end up finishing in 10th. We had a lead change in almost every lap up until you got to the last three laps in this race there when Mitchell Collins tried to go for the lead himself. And it seemed like once he tried to, it seemed like his car was holding up everybody else. Nobody else was trying to make a move and make it 3 wide or take a chance. But anyway. But nonetheless, Mike Becker is your winner here today. Average speed 187.639. In this race, Mitchell Collins second, third Quentin Moore, fourth, as we said, Charles Sanford and Dylan Poteet, Eli Bright, Osborne, Cole, Shelton, and Batson, the top 10. Seth Cole, that is. Rest of the finishers, William Brock 11th, 12th, Paul Minnick, 13th will go to Johnny Gardner, Kyle Matthews 14th, Cole Deaver 15th, and Diego Yepes will finish the race in the caboose in 16th spot. So that will do it today at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Winston All-Star Race here. Mike Becker, your winner this season at Charlotte. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports Gaming channel. You get everything on this channel. You got interesting gaming videos, whatever president of the NNSCRA technical desires for his channel. And please be sure to check out the Last One Slice Series, the Pizza Hut X Series, the Last One Slice Series, the Pizza Hut X Series, the Coors Light Truck Series, and the Hershey's Cup Series. Please be sure to check those races out on this channel as well as our other NNSCRA series, including the Budweiser All-Pro Series from Michael Norman and the Marvel Studios Cup Series from Levi McIntyre. So that's your so that's the story from Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll see you for the Coca-Cola 600. Congratulations again to Mike Becker, the winner of the season 21 Winston All-Star Race. Racing for now, this is James Qualls, in production of the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best.
Greg, did you have any ignition problems?